Welcome back, you guys. So I was talking a bit in my last episode about how I'm currently in the process of moving, so please bear with me. But about the process of going through something you're scared of, right? Like facing your fears and how maybe it's not such a bad thing and all that. Check out that episode if you have not seen it. But this one, I want to break down more so the actionable steps, or not steps, but advice steps, basically, of how to actually go through this process. Because I know it's so easy to hear, like, oh, okay, just face your fears. Got it. But actually, doing the work and facing the fears is hard and it's scary and nobody really knows where to start. And I think that's what holds people back so much. So we're going to dive into all that in just a few. But first, I want to remind you to follow me on almost any social media platform at Make Waves Coach. If you don't already, I post lots of free inspirational content to benefit your career. Also, follow me on almost any social media platform at Make Waves Coach. Did I literally just say that again? Sorry, bear with me. Also, follow me at Mermaid Cassandra on almost any social media platform, as that is my entertainment platform. Check out my podcast also at Make Waves Coach, Mermaid Cassandra, available every place podcasts are found. Okay, without further ado, what can we do to really dive into our fears and our hesitations holding us back, right? And really confront what's holding us back. Luckily, I had someone help me do this and realize that basically what was holding me back the most from actually wanting to make the move in my life was my my need for control. And I'm not a controlling freak, but I get really uncomfortable when things are not in my control. This is why I have my own business. This is why everything in my life is able to be managed for the most part. Obviously, there are things I can't control, and I'm not, a complete nightmare when I can't control it, but I do have a very, very strong need for control because doesn't matter. It's just a fact. I'm working on it, but it's the truth. And so that was what made it so uncomfortable to me to be making this shift in my life. But when I was able to recognize that, I was like, okay, can I get comfortable with letting go of that control in this situation and just kind of letting my life do its thing, because as I mentioned, I think in my last episode, I had gotten to the point where I realized I was too comfortable because I was in complete control. And how am I supposed to grow when I'm not shifting? Sure, life's going to be hard. There's going to be days where I feel like maybe I am buried beneath the weight of everything and it's dark and I'm crying. But what are those tears doing? They are watering the seed planted where I need to grow. They are watering the seed planted where I need to grow. And what happens when the sun comes out? You blossom. And you realize, what if what was actually holding you back that entire time, the fear that was actually holding you back that entire time, was preventing you from turning into something beautiful? Imagine that. So I want to encourage you. Can you identify what is actually holding you back from what it is that you're scared of? If it's an audition, if it's trying a new skill, if it's going in front of your first audience for the first time, or a live audience for the first time, if it's maybe leaving your 9-to-5 job, if it's even just starting your career at all, if it's taking the first step in entertainment, if it's working with an entertainment coach. Here's a question for you. Why do you think that your entertainment should be drawing in customers If you are not willing to invest yourself into a coach to make you the best entertainer, why do you think that people should be drawn to you to benefit them if you're not willing to invest into something larger yourself? Just putting that out there for whatever that's worth. I myself have worked with many coaches, which, by the way, if you are interested in connecting with me one-on-one, you can do so in the link in the description in almost any of my social media platforms. Check that out. But back to the steps. Acknowledge the worst case scenario and make peace with it. Of course, you're probably never going to get to a point where you're like, I am at peace. It's all just, it's great. It's great. I am totally cool with if this never works out. I don't mean that that's ever going to be your truth and that that's even really realistic, but that you can come to terms with the fact that, okay, if worst case scenario, which again should not happen, especially if you're in the right mindset and you're thinking positively, this shouldn't be the case, but God forbid it does happen. Can you live with it? Can you survive? Can you still continue your life? Or is it actually not possible? I can't imagine how often you would say, no, it's just actually not possible. Because most of the time it is. The next thing I want to challenge you is to take one small step. Or large step. Large steps are great too, but smaller steps are a lot more manageable and less intimidating. So take one small step towards the thing that you're afraid of. Take one step towards the thing that you are afraid of. Because a lot of times, intimidation and overwhelm just comes down to the fact that it's really not that bad. It's just taking the action that is the worst part. And once you start taking action, you gain momentum, right? It's the worst part about going to the gym is going to the gym. It's like actually taking the steps to go to the gym. Once you're there, you're good. You might want to stay for another hour and a half, 2 hours. But it's the fact that you have to get up off the couch and put your shoes on and go to the gym. That's the worst part, right? So take that step and you'll realize, you know what? I got it from here. That being said, of course, there's so many ways to still be overwhelmed and intimidated. And if you would like support on your journey, again, feel free to find me on almost any social media platform. You can connect with me on there. I'm ecstatic to talk to you. Until then, go out there and make waves. Mwah!